Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now, if you are a sports nut like me, the summer is an incredible time. Well, certainly the Northern Hemisphere summer. There's always something on to watch. A football tournament like the Women's Euros at the moment, a cricket match like England versus India in both men's and women's. We've got rugby. The Lions tour is on at the moment, as well as other Southern Hemisphere tours. We've got, those are sports I absolutely love. Wimbledon, we're into, and of course we just did a James Cop puzzle celebrating that. That's tennis. We've got golf every week virtually, and the majors especially. There's now, I don't just love ball sports. Athletics will be coming. It's not an Olympic year, but there'll be a World Championships. So much stuff. And one of these events is the Tour de France. Now, if you've seen a puzzle with routes on it, like a Tour de France stage map, that's because we did one before. It was also by Palpot, and he's sent us another one today. TDF, that's Tour de France, Odd Mountain Stage. We're going to have a look at some rules here, try and work out what they mean, and I'm really looking forward to giving it a go. So, not just because I love sport, but because I did enjoy that puzzle last year. We're really looking forward to it. So, don't forget that on Patreon, these are kind of wormy things in the grid up. We've got our actual regeneration, our worm-based Sudoku hunt, along with crossword videos, connections videos, and the like. We've got all of our apps, which do feature line Sudoku, as well as Fog of War Sudoku, and the new 2 worms by Marty Sears and James Sinclair. Got the names right. We've got Sven Sudoku Bed. They're all linked under the video in the description field. But the first link is to this puzzle, which is beautifully presented. Basically, presentation has come on since Sudoku Maker, etc. have allowed pictures in grids. And I'm going to go through the rules of Palpot's puzzle now. So, it is clearly a mountain stage of the Tour de France. The tour has not got to the mountains as I am filming this, but it will do, of course, in due course. Oh, by the way, congratulations to Simon Yates, British rider who won the Giro d'Italia this year in a rather surprise last major stage. Anyway, normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 goes in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. That's the simple bit. Each line in the grid, the yellow, green, red, and blue, represent the path of a different rider. Riders earn 1 point for every odd digit on their path. Fair enough. A digit in a cell with a rider indicates the amount of points earned by that rider. The red rider, that's this one, doesn't share a cell with its line. I see. I mean, he's very much on the red route, on top of, like, he's going over the mountain pass at that point, the col, but yeah, okay, he's not actually on one of the cells that the red line passes through, unlike yellow, green, and blue. Now, so we know how they amass points just by hitting odd digits. The yellow rider scored more than the green rider, who scored more than the red rider, who scored more than the teal rider. This is a sort of wooden spoon, isn't it, outside the grid for the teal rider. I think the last place in the Tour de France is actually called the Lanterne Rouge. Now, so the lines have rules. 2 cells connected by a yellow line must have a difference of at least 4, so it's a Dutch whisper. 2 cells connected by a green line must have a difference of at least 5, so it's a German whisper. Adjacent digits along a red line have different odd or even parity, so it's a parity alternating line. And then this one is a modular line. Any set of 3 sequential cells contain 1 digit from 147, 1 from 258, and 1 from 369. I visualize my keyboard and divide it up into the vertical strands. Right, I think I understand the rules. I have no idea how to approach the puzzle. I have no memory of how we did the one previously. Let's get cracking. So, what have we got? We've got a German whisper, and a Dutch whisper. Well, the German whisper has a stronger constraint. Ah, no, hang on. First of all, this is a modular line. So there's one of the digits from 258 appears in this strand, and that one is a 5 appearing somewhere, because 2 and 8 are the given digits down here. Okay, enough about that. I'm going to tell you some things about green lines. One is that they can never have 5 on. The next is that they have to alternate between digits higher than 5 and lower than 5 to maintain the necessary differences. And the third is that 4 and 6 are sometimes a little difficult to place because their neighbours can't see each other, because 4 only has one neighbour, for instance, which is 9. So all that tells me is that we are alternating high and low. And since I don't know anything about these digits, that's not really very helpful. I mean, the 5 appearing on the teal line tells me that this loser down here scores at least 1 point. So the minimum score for red is 2, the minimum score for green is 3, and the minimum score for... Oh, well, we know red, of course, it's a parity alternator. So it's going to be either odd, even, odd, even, odd, even, odd, even, odd, or the other way around. And therefore, red will score 4 or 5 in this contest. So green has to score more than that, at least 5, and yellow has to score at least 6 and hit lots of odd digits. I mean, that's definitely true. It's hard to know whether it's helpful. Oh, look, this is a set. Sorry. I mean, I bothered to highlight these colours and then not look at them. Greens in row 4 are a set of 4 digits, which are either all high or all low. Now, where does the monogamous one go? The trouble is, I know it doesn't go there because those two see each other, but unfortunately in the other cases, the two neighbours don't see each other and could allow 4 or 6 to sit in one of these. So it didn't actually do much. However, these 4 digits involve 2 evens and 2 odds. They're either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that relevant? What does pink have to score? No, green, sorry, the green line has to score at least 5. And of these 3 cells, which are all high or all low, a maximum 2 are odd. So there are 2 odds amongst the green. A maximum 2 odd there. At least one of these 2 is odd, is what I've learnt there. And 6 is the maximum score. Is that interesting? No, probably not very. But 6 is the maximum score for the green line. Wow, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I've missed any rules. I just don't know how to proceed. Oh, and this is the score for the line, of course, the cyclists. I'd forgot a rule. So we learnt green is going to score 2 in the green cells, 1 or 2 in those pink ones in terms of odds. Yeah, because they're the same parity. So 1 or 2 there. So we're up to 3 or 4. And then it could be anywhere from 0 to 2 here. So green is somewhere between, well, I was going to say 3 to 6, but we know that red must score 4 or 5 because of the alternation. And green has to be more than that. So green is 5 or 6. This yellow is at least... Well, yeah, okay. If it was 9, every digit on this line would be odd. And I mean, that's not impossible. If it was 8, every other digit on the line would be odd. Now, this is 5 or 6, but it's on a green line, so it's a 6. That's neighbours on the line are 1s. Okay, well, that's a start. And now we know that the score is 6. We know it's going to get 2 in green, a maximum of 2 in that row. Both of these must be odd. This is odd, and it's now a low digit because we found out that purple is low. In fact, let's make purple blue, and let's make green orange. And these digits are a 7, 8, 9 set. And these are from 2, 3, 4. That one can't be a 4 because its neighbours see each other. This one is a 3 because it sees a 1. I've only just noticed that. This is not a 7. One of these is a 7, and that must be a 2 as a result of that. This is not a 2, but do we know it's parity? We're trying to score 6. We're getting a 7 and 9 here. That's a score of 2. Plus those 2 is 4. Plus that one is 5. This is odd. It's a 3. Jolly good. That can't be 7. This is the only place for 7 on the green line. And we've nearly finished the green rider's route. We've just got an 8, 9 pair left to resolve. Fabulous. Okay, well that is an actual start. And we know he scored 6, so yellow is going to score more than that. And that is quite a lot of odd numbers to score for yellow. And it's a Dutch whisper as well. So I'd forgotten that already, conveniently. And this is a high digit, 7, 8 or 9. So this is quite low, could be a 5 though. That does allow this to be a 1 or a high digit. And the trouble is now you get into a lot of pencil marking on a whisper, on a Dutch whisper. Oh, this one, well, it's got to be 5 away from this digit. No, 4 away, sorry, 4 away. But it can't be 1, 2 or 6. So I think this is 3, 4 or 5. And then what's this? It can't be 1, so it's not lower. So it must be higher than that. And it's got to be at least 7, which is quite interesting. This is low again, but not 1. But now we do have to allow 5 back into the mix because this could go 9, 5, 9. I haven't really thought about the parity of these digits yet. I've only been thinking about the polarity. This is sort of high. Can't be 5 because that can't be 1. So 6, 7, 8 or 9. This is sort of low, but it could be a 5, except it couldn't, because a 5 would need those digits to be 1 and 9, and that would clash. So that's definitely low. This is definitely high, but again, this could be a 5. So I don't know if there's any point doing this. I could colour those cells and that one. And this one very much is orange. Now, let's think about the parities of these numbers, although I don't think they're really very constrained yet. Okay, let's think about 1 in box 5, because that's a Sudoku thing. There's a 1 there and a 1 there. Those cells can't be 1. Now, there's a 1 in one of those cells, and that tells us about the parity alternation on the red line. I like to colour orange as odd and blue as even. You will note the problem with that is so far I've been using blue as low and orange as high. Let's get rid of all my colouring so far. Let's get rid of it all and start colouring this. If 1 is on one of those cells, then these alternators are odd. These alternators are even. And this number is a 4 because it's scoring the odds. This is a 3, that's the only place it can go in row 4. This is a 2, similar. This is a 1, 5 pair. Now, these odd digits are 1, it could be anything. This one, however, sees 3, 1 and 5 in the box. This one sees 1 and 3 in the box. This, this sees 2, 4 and 6 and it's even. That's an 8. This now sees 2 and 8 and is 4 or 6. I'm glad I coloured for oddness. There is a 3 in one of these cells and it's quite likely in one of the odd ones, but That is yet to be resolved. In fact, look, if 1 is in those cells, so is 2 and 3. This is a 1, 2, 3 set. So 2 has to go there because it's not odd. 1 and 3 go there. And these digits are a 5, 9 pair. 3, 2, 5, 8, 9, 1. This is going quite well. I've got 4, 6, and 7 to place in row 5. We know that the red rider scores 4. So we know that the teal rider is going to score 1, 2, or 3. And it's definitely going to earn a point from a 5 there. Oh, this digit is 1, 2, or 3 as a result of that scoring. Maybe it's time to look at Sudoku again. I don't know. I'm looking at the Sudoku and not getting a lot out of it, unfortunately. The Dutch Whisper, it doesn't feel wildly helpful yet, I have to admit. Okay, let's go back to row 6 then. 1, 2, 3. The 5 is somewhere over here. 1, 2, 3 are there. We've scored that as a 4 and that as a 6. We don't know about this. So it's really interesting. I don't know whether the parity or the polarity is going to matter next on the yellow line, but it could be either or both. This is even and it's not 2. I don't know. There seems no point pencil marking those digits. Right. One of the digits on this line is from the 2, 5, 8 set. If that was in one of these cells, that would be another 5 scoring another point. If it's not in one of these cells, it's got to be there and it's got to be a 2. That feels a little significant. Oh, I've got an 8 looking at the top cell. So that's 7 or 9. If that was 7, these would have to be a 2, 3 pair. Now, would that say anything very interesting? Probably not. What do we do next? There is a 2 somewhere there. This digit, if that was 5, this would be a digit from the 2, 5, 8 modularity set and would be another 5. Oh, but this would also be from the set, and that would be too many 2, 5, 8 digits in the bottom row. So that is not the modular 5. The modular 5, or the 5, is in one of these 2 cells, and therefore one of these 2 is from the 2, 5, 8 modularity set. And one of these 2 is, which is either a 2 there or a 5 here. And that would put a 5 here, and then we'd need a 5 in one of these cells by Sudoku, and a modularity 2, 5, 8 digit there. This one can't be 2, 5, 8. It's also 7 is ruled out. It's from either the 1, 4, 7 or the 3, 6, 9 set. That doesn't feel as useful, I have to say. There is a 3 by Sudoku in one of these cells. No, I don't know. I'm getting a bit stuck now. But it's gone well. I'm not despairing at all. Trying to tap out an insistent rhythm like a Tour de France rider. Right, where does that digit go in box 6? It goes in one of those cells. It's either 7 there or 9 there. And the other one of 7 or 9 in box 6 is in these cells, so that's like a virtual 7, 9 pair. And that means these digits are from 4, 6, 8, and they're definitely even as a result. Look, let's color what evens and odds we definitely know about, because it might yield something interesting. You just never know. Might do. Oh, these are obviously even. The given digit's much harder to spot than anything else. There's a 2 somewhere there. There's an 8 in one of those 2 cells. For that to be even, remember, most of the digits on this line are going to be even. Now that's a very interesting point. In this box, we can only have 2 more evens, so we must score at least 1 point in this box. In this box, we can only have 2 more evens, so we must score 1 point in this box. So in this box, so this can't be a 1 anymore, it's at least 2. If it was a 2, no, one of these could still be even. If it was a 3, no, again, those could still both be even. Right, okay, I'm sorry, I'm just getting myself confused now. But it's an interesting point. We've got at least 1, no, at most 1 odd on this group. So we've got to get quite a lot of evens on this line. If that wasn't even, then this would definitely be a 3. Yeah, the count of this teal line and its odd digits is definitely very significant in this puzzle. But I don't quite know how it works. Is there... No, there's almost only one place for 9 in this box. There's 2 cells, and 9 and 7 are up the central column of box 4. That's a little strange as well. Doesn't really do anything to these cells that means a lot to me. Okay, if that was a 2, we would have an odd digit in this box and an odd digit in this box, and these would all be even. And we'd know where all the evens were in this box. Now, is there a problem with those cells being all even? Well, okay, there's another point. There's another point that I think is interesting. If this was 3, we would definitely be finding a 5 here as the second point after the 3. We couldn't have all of these 3 cells be even, because that would be too many evens in the bottom row. So one of the, okay, that's really interesting. One of these 3 is odd. Minimum. One of these 3 is odd. One of these 2 is a 5 and is therefore odd. And that is going to score this rider, because he's either a 2, because he's an even cell and everything else on the line is an even cell, or he's a 3 and he's the last odd cell on the line after the 1 in this row and the 1 in those. So all of these cells are even. That's definite now. That's not a 3. What is also definite is the 2 remaining evens in this row are on the teal line. So everything else in the row is odd. 4 and 6. If they were both here, that would have to be a 3. I mean, that got us a lot of colouring and not a lot of Sudoku done. This digit is 4 or 6. This is 5 and an even digit, so these others in the box are all odd. These are from 4, 5 and 6. That is now a 4, 5, 6 triple. 1 is in one of these cells, and these are from 3, 7, 9. goodness, these are 4, 6 and an odd digit of which I know nothing. I don't know its nature at all. Oh, we've got all 4 evens in this row. Aha! So that's a 5. And this is therefore the even digit. That's the odd one. That's scoring. These two are odd as well. Now we're getting quite a lot of colour done. I've got 3 odds in this column already. And I have another one coming in this box because both 9 and 7 are there. So that's effectively 4 of the odds already. If that was a 3, it would be the 5th one, and these would all be even. I mean, I think I am going to gradually work my way up to the king of the mountains and the yellow line and the winner of this stage. But I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. But this was good. We got that 5. I still don't know what that is. One of these 3 is the last odd digit in the bottom row. What about these 2? I'd love to paint that even because it would be the last one in the final column. In fact, this is 4, 6 or 8 because it can't be 2. So the 2 in the row is in one of those 2 cells. The red line's just a parity alternator, so that's not really doing anything else. The green line we've basically finished with. It's only the yellow line. Oh no, the modularity thing. Yes. So that is the mod 258 digit. That's a 2 now. This is a mod 258 digit and it can't be a 2, so that's an 8. Right, I haven't explained how I know that these same modular sets are 3 away from each other on the teal line. And that's because these 2 must have one from, once that's a 5. These are from 147 and 369 between them because of that set having to have one of each. But that set also has to have one of each, so this has to be from the same set. And you find that every 3 sets as you go along, that will occur. So this is now, we've got all the evens in this row now. Those are all odd. This one we can just count the box, it's even. These 2 can't be 8 anymore. This one can't be 2. The only place for 2 in the box is here. Now this can't be 2. No, look, there was a 2 telling me that as well. One of these 2 is an 8. Thrilling information. Goodness me, this is a very clever puzzle. I do like how it's unfolding. It's very interesting. Now, these are odd from 1379. Now, can I look up at all yet? That can't be a 2. Is that? Oh, no, no, look, this 8 can look up to there and finish off the German whisper line. Well, that's something. Ooh, is it something? We had to have 7 and 9. Yeah, that 8 has made this a 6-4 pair. This becomes a 7-9 pair. This one is 7. That one is 9. This one is orange. I can colour that. I must be able to colour this blue now, so it's not 7. And now I still can't colour these. I've got an 8 to put in one of them and a 5 or 7 to put in the other one. Excellent. Oh, this was good. This was good. This was an advance. Now, the modularity thing, that is going to be the same digit as that. And then they're going to need another from their modular set here. The trouble is, it could be the same one again, which is a little weird. 4 and 6 in this column are going to have to be in these cells. So that is not a 6 and that is not a 6. What I'd like to do is really eliminate some of these digits down. So look, this sees a 4-6 pair down to 1 or 2 possibilities that we could then compute the Dutch whisper line from. 4, 6, 8. So 8's in one of those and 2. One of these is 4 or 6 and is mimicking its... It's not this one that is 4 or 6 because it would have to be from the same modular set as that and therefore be the same digit. And it can't be. That's lovely. So this is 4 or 6. And these 3 are all from the same modular set and are therefore the same digit. These 3 are from another modular set. This one is odd. And those 2 are the same digit that is either 4 or 6. And then this is either 1, 7, 3 or 9. Well, it's not 3. I don't really get to unwind that yet, but that was an interesting way of finding that this is even. And now I've got all 4 evens. In fact, this has to be 8 in this column. And now I've got a 4, 6 pair here. And now I know that 2 and 8 are up here, and that can't be 8. In fact, I know that all these 3 are odd. 7 and 9, just like there. It's not quite the way I want to be restricting these. Oh, look, I can count this column. That's a blue cell, and it's a 6, and that does nothing. Oh, this 6 does something. It's done it for ages. I just didn't notice. It makes that repeated digit a 4. This is a 6, and this digit needs to come from the 3, 6, 9 set and is a 9. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. That's not a 9. This is a 6 now. This is just elimination. 4 and 6 there. Now surely, yes, I know this 6 and 4. I was going to say surely I know one of these, but I don't. I know that this isn't 4. Now some of these digits do begin to look up to the top. That's not a 4, so it's an odd digit. Oh, we've still got the score of the top rider to consider. Hadn't thought about that for an age. Oh, this digit has not been allowed to be a 9. Oh, that doesn't restrict this because of the Dutch Whisper. You could still go 8, 4. But then, well, we haven't definitively got him hitting any even digits yet, so he could still score 9, which would be a wonderful performance. He'd be way ahead of the rest of the field. I do like, and it's very Tour de France. I do like that there has been progress constantly available through this puzzle, and it's been quite steady. I've really enjoyed it, I have to say. But we have to finish it as well, and that is vital. We have to not get swept up into the, what wagon is it? I can't remember. 7 can't be there. So 7 goes in one of those cells, and that's not a 7. 7 also, or 3, what about these odds is what I'm looking at. 7 can't be in those, nor can 3. So they're from 1, 5, 9. This one can't be a 1. 4 in the column is in one of those cells. Now I'm gonna have to think about the yellow line a lot more. If that was 5, these would both be 9, and everything would be odd on the line because of that being a 9. Now, would that get difficult here? I think it would. This would be a 5. These would all have to be odd, but the only candidates are 1 and 3, and that's not enough for those 3 cells. So this is not a 5, this is a 3. That takes 3 out of these 2. Now, again, we can perform this trick and say, how many of these cells that I've got highlighted can be odd? And the answer is not quite all of them, because 1 and 5 are the only remaining candidates. So this can't be a 9. It can't hit all odds because of that. Therefore, on the Dutch Whisper rules, this can't be a 5. This is 1 or 2. This could be a 5. Yeah, I think it could. Three to 7 or 8, 3 to 7 or 9. It's so likely that these are both odd. We've still got to hit a total of 7 odds or 8. In fact, if this was an 8, everything else would be odd, and they would all have to be odd, and they can't be. So this is a 7. There we go. 7 is the winning score. That can't be a 7. This can't be a 7. Much more importantly, this can't be a 7, and we know that's a 9 now. This also can't be a 7. We're only going to get 2 evens on the line. And one of them is in one of these 3 cells, at least, maybe 2 of them. Okay, these are from 135, but that one, oh, this one is a naked 3. I've got 1 in one of those cells. It sees 5 and all the even digits in this row and 9, 7 there. Wow, that's a naked 3. That gives us 3 in box 9. And that gives us 3 in box 8, and that makes this a 7. And now as I look up to the top here, that's a 9. And now I know this isn't 9, and there is a 9 in one of these 2. And I don't know which one. Let's look on this row for a 7. There it is. This is now 5, 8, 7. I can colour them if I want, and I do. This is from 1 or 5, along with that. These 2 are from 1, 5, 7. One of them is definitely a 7. Right. This is a 1, 2, 6 triple up here. This is not a 1, therefore. It's almost telling me something about the parities along this line. Maybe the polarities will do it. If that was a 4, that would be an 8, and those would be the only 2 even digits allowed on the line. These would both have to be odd, 5 and 1. And that would have to be an odd 5 as well. Wow! So if that was a 4, it would determine every other cell on the yellow line. Oh, look at this row. We've got 4 odd digits. That's even, definitely. Where does the 5 go, or where doesn't it go? I don't know. Oh, that 3 is looking down here. That gives me a 1 here and a 9 here. That gives me 5 here and 9 here. That did quite a bit of Sudoku. These are from 4, 5, 9. That one clearly can't be 9. This one could be. That one is 5, 8 or 9. Bit of pencil marking. Got a 2, 4, 5 triple in those cells and a 7, 8 pair here, which are resolved. Is that doing anything? 7 is now in one of those cells. 8 is looking at that one. Right, that's a 5. That must be touching a 1 on the line. That makes this a 2, and that is an even digit. Yes, indeed, a knowledge bomb from cracking the cryptic. We only want, oh wow, we're still left with 2 digits. 2 can't be next to 5. So that's an 8, and that is the last even digit. So this is the odd to get the count up to 7. That's a 5, which is perfectly legal on this line, sitting between 2 9s. We often talk about polarity changes on Dutch whisper lines, and we very rarely allow for the fact that 5 can sit on the line and not change the polarity, which is what it's doing here. Anyway, that's just a side note. Now, this can't be 2 or 6. It is 1. I think we're finishing off now. I think so. 1, 5, 9. Look, we've got all the oranges in this box, so I can make everything else blue. Therefore, 7 and 3 have gone in. Those can't be 4 or 6. That's a 2, 8 pair. This is 4. That's 6. That sorts out 4 and 2. That, by Sudoku, is going to make this a 5. That's going to make this a 9. That's going to make this a 4. There's the colouring all done. Now I can do 8 and 2. Now I can do a 5 here and a 1 in the corner. That's a 5, that's a 9. This is 1, that's 7, this is 1, and that's a 5. And there we go. That is the odd mountain stage complete. Fantastic puzzle. So entertaining. And the scores of the riders were 2, 4, 6, and 7. So very well done to the Dutch whisper rider. I wonder if he was Dutch himself. And the German whisper rider came second. The red wearing rider came third. and the Teal rider came fourth. That's great fun, great stuff from Palpot, very enjoyable. And yeah, enjoy the Tour de France if you like that sort of thing, or any other sport that's going on in your country or your world, or any other activities you're doing at all. Thank you for watching us, and bye for now.